one second. First I have to check whether the setting is actually proper and you can actually hear me. Yeah, you probably couldn't hear me there. 1 second. Now I think you can hear me, right? Okay. Apply. Yep, now you definitely can hear me because I can hear it through the mic. Alright, apologies for that glitch. This is good, but we can do better than this. So the first step would be chroma verb. Try and pick a big one. I mean, honestly, you can stop there if you want. That's good enough. There are some other options. So naturally, so what I did over here was chroma verb fx picked gave. At the same time, you could use a different reverb option which would give you more in this case more punch, I would say more power. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Space Designer is definitely the most overpowered reverb set that Logic has. Can be sometimes intimidating to use, but in this case I think it makes sense to use the entire capacity of Space Designer. Let's look for outdoor spaces, mountain echoes, and see what happens. It's either like I'm going to go from this final section, I think. So large spaces, outdoor spaces. That's the army of the villains, right? Basically, like. So, mountain echoes does well. Let's check out some other options. The follow-up makes it sound like, you know, a fog of war scenario where there's a lot of stuff going on and time dilation, but I don't like the hit exactly. What happens if we lower dry setting completely? This would be one of those kinds of scenarios where like you're in the middle of the action itself and you know, time slows down and things are happening, people are killing each other or whatever. So that's when you do something like you go from soft to loud when it comes to the hits. So I just played it from soft to loud. Try and prolong that, basically, like basically just play it for longer. You'll prolong it, or you can mess with this, the length of the reverb itself. Although I won't really want to touch that, I'd generally just play it for a really long time. Because for me it's just easier to play it for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or for whatever period of time I need to do that for. It tends to sometimes be cleaner that way if you just play it rather than use effects to substitute. Let's see other options, what they can do for us. This upper echelons is a little more basic than the rest, so I wouldn't recommend it in this case, even though I use upper echelons a lot for other stuff. Nothing wrong with this. This is another nice alternative. That's a little peculiar. Little less typical, I would say. Not really anything remarkable there. So yeah, I suppose those are the good options to look at when it comes to how to do war drums in Logic Pro. And this also actually pairs up very well with the choir, because sometimes you can have a really uh, what would you say, very impressive ambience with pairing up the percussion with the choir for a proper warlike thematic experience. So let's see. Let's try and do it. Boys. So just like in the other video, or rather I've actually forgotten, so let's just rig up another. So that's chroma verb bloomy, and on the space designer, let's go with upper echelons and see how that works. It's not deep enough. 1 second. to click anything unnecessary like I did right there. That's more like it, yeah. If we use a compressor instead, is that going to make it easier on us? Pretty heavy. One sec. Can't tell. Can't tell what exactly is happening here. No, the compressor is acting upon the whole thing. It's not acting just upon the singing, the vocals track. So stacking's a better idea. Oh, nice. This sounds nice. So what I did was I added a binaural filter, so so the sound kind of hits you from all the directions, a little bit left and a little bit right. So yeah. Now aside from timpani, there used to be this other trick that I'd use. Let me try and find that. It's a little. It's been a while. Yeah, there are a couple of options when it comes to basically the percussion over here. Not this. Nope, not that. You want to pick a resonant one, so basically I'm playing it slightly in the lower middle rather than at the very, very end. I still want something very resonant, so that's. Then we go to the greatest, the one and only chroma verb. Oops, sorry. So that's one way. Let's Let's try and go for the heaviest that chroma verb has. The hit itself is a little overpowering. So that's an option which sounds a little bit extraterrestrial in nature. This is a very clarion call type sound. So one thing. No, not quite. We need something really heavy here. Yikes. Yep. So basically, where did I go? Large spaces, warp spaces, dam level 2. That's where I went. And so this gives you like that ominous foreboding sound. Not exactly war drums, but clarion call type sound. You can play with this setting a little bit. Another way to do it is you take one here and you add another reverb layer on top of it. And let's see this time what do we want to add on top of it. Deep space. Yeah, that sounds more urgent. It's not exactly a war drum though, but it's definitely an emergency option. Emergency sort of a sound. Emergency bell sound. So, so that's what we have for now. Yeah, how to use the timpani along with reverb settings. In this case, what did we use? Did we actually use that? 1 second. No, here, timpani, there we go. Space designer, we used big cave for this one, but there were a bunch of options that we explored at the start. When it came to stacking the core on top, one way to do it is to basically add 2 layers of it, and remember to put your reverbs of choice. So in this case, upper echelons and big barrel is what we used here, along with cave on chroma verb. And of course, you can check out the ethereal choir video that I also had created just a while back. That's one way to stack the choirs on top of the war drums. And aside from that, you have other options as well in terms of the world percussion instruments. And one option you have is the metal drum slap sound. The other option you have is the Tibetan singing bowls sound. Thank you, and if you like this lesson, please consider subscribing.